Oh yeah, this'll do. Back at the farm today, looking to continue to do some summer maintenance on the property that I have permission for. Like I mentioned last time, I'm back today to clear some lanes and also place some mock scrapes throughout the property. So I guess it's my personal opinion that I don't like to intrude on a property. I don't like to disrupt a property after about, you know, that mid-July time frame. I like to let everything kind of settle out for a couple months prior to the start of the season. So this will probably be my last time here, other than maybe a couple minor in and outs for checking trail cams, replacing SD cards, whatever it may be. But the big lane clearing, disruptive activities, this will probably be my last for the summer. So gonna make the most of it. I'm not gonna take you guys through all the lane clearing. That's pretty monotonous, pretty tedious work. However, I do intend on showing you guys how I set up mock scrapes on the properties that I hunt. You know, typically I like to place my mock scrapes where I'm going to hunt. Not only do I like to use mock scrapes to inventory the deer on the property, but I like to take advantage of them during season as well and place them in an area where I'm gonna have a clear shot to whatever buck may be on that scrape at the time. So we're gonna get right into it today. I plan on setting a scrape at my clover plot and then also on the south side of the property. That south side is just very intriguing to me. There's been a lot of deer traffic on that south side. So I'm gonna find a nice crossroad in those deer paths and get a scrape in place. All right, made it back to the clover plot. Up over my left shoulder here is the hawk hunting stand that I set a couple weeks ago. So my goal for today is to get a mock scrape in place at this location. You know, ultimately I've done a lot of research on mock scrapes, on how to implement successful mock scrapes, what it takes, where to put them, how to do them. Some of the best articles, some of the best videos that I've been able to look at have been the whitetail habitat solutions. I think they're just unparalleled, unmatched. So if you're looking for more than what I'm going to show you here today, definitely hop onto those videos, dive into those articles. Jeff Sturgis does a great job really just outlining what all it takes to create a successful mock scrape. I've also just found multiple other articles online. Going to take tidbits from each and every one, and hopefully we can get something to work. Here's my rundown as to what I feel you need to make a successful scrape. First things first, a solid grapevine branch, anywhere from 3/4 to 1 inch thick. There's multiple other branches that you can use as a licking stick. However, everything I've read, everything that has been suggested, you really can't beat a grapevine. And one thing that I really wanted to look for when finding my grapevine is a easy tie-off point for hanging this licking branch. So whether it's a V-notch, kind of like what I have cut here, whether it's kind of a 90-degree or some kind of angled extension of this grapevine when you cut it, anything that will allow you to wrap your hanging string around this securely, tightly, because those deer are really gonna thrash around in this, really gonna take a tug at this, and you don't want it falling down. So grapevine. String. A step stool, some kind of ladder stick, something that can get you elevated up into a tree off the ground 3 or 4 feet so that you can actually tie your string to that tree. Trail cam, because everybody wants to know what's hitting their mock scrape. Water, because you got to kickstart the scrape somehow, right? Some kind of shears, some kind of limb cutting apparatus, both to notch out your vine to get that rope into it a little bit more securely and to cut any sticks or branches out of the way that may be interfering with you. So that's pretty much all that you need. I know a lot of people may utilize zip ties to more securely fasten their licking branch to the string or to a tree or to an already existing overhanging branch. That's a great option. I don't think it's really necessary. I think my string and my notched grapevine is really going to do the trick. So let's get it in place and I'll show you the finished product here in a minute. that easy. So let me run you through the mock scrape setup that I have in place. Again, I'm going to reference a lot of the videos and a lot of the articles I read. Nothing really showed you the process. It was really all just the finished product. Kind of hard to understand what went into it, what they did to make that scrape successful. So starting at step number 1, identifying your trees. So I have this one here, found the crotch in the tree up above. I got my lone wolf climbing stick, got about 4 feet up, was able to get the string tied up in that crotch. From there, I took the string and I spanned over to this adjacent tree. And again, I left my lone wolf stick set up here so you can understand how it actually occurred. So lone wolf climbing stick got me about 4 or 5 feet up off the ground. I got to a point up in the tree with the other end of the rope to where my licking stick here would be about waist high. So everything that Whitetail Habitat Solutions mentioned in their articles was waist high is the optimal height for your licking stick. So that's what I tried to match here. So, and one thing that I actually ended up doing was I tied what is a bow hook, a gun hook, up into the tree at the elevation I need. That way I was able to do a figure 8 loop around it and get a nice tight knot on it by myself. You know, just like wrapping Christmas presents, you always need a finger to do it. Well, that bow hook, that gun hook there allowed me to figure 8 it so that it kept the tension in that string, wouldn't loosen up on me, and I could get a nice tight knot into it. So that's pretty much it. Find 2 trees that you can span with some good durable rope. This rope was $10 on Amazon, just some paracord. Like I said, find a grapevine that has a crotch in it so that you can again do that figure 8 loop, tie a nice tight knot in it. That way it's not going to come down when that giant buck on your property starts thrashing around on it. So this is it. This is the whole setup. It took me all of 5-10 minutes to get in place, and I really took my time doing it. So I highly suggest, if you're watching this video, take these lessons out into the field with you, try to understand where at on your property you can implement this mock scrape. I did it last year and it worked really well for me on some public land. And now I know I have a couple good shooter bucks on this property, and I'm excited to see what I have on trail camera here in the next couple weeks. Back at the farm, it's been exactly 1 week since I got my mock scrapes in place, since I put the trail cams up. And I've gotten a few cell cam photos on my phone that are gonna help reiterate just how effective these mock scrapes are in a short amount of time. And I really wanna drive home the fact that I did not use any scrape scents, I did not use any licking branch scents, any lures, nothing. It's all natural. The only thing I've really bought for this scrape setup is the rope to hang the grapevine from. A mock scrape can be so effective, such a useful tool for both scouting purposes and hunting purposes. You know, they're not going to attract the monster bucks to your property, but the larger deer, the larger bucks that are on your property, they're gonna help retain them. In my opinion, a mock scrape does an extremely good job of kind of making the larger bucks territorial. When a smaller buck hits the scrape, I think it just entices those larger bucks to defend that area, stay in that area, continue to refresh that mock scrape, and that's how they become so effective. So next time you're out in the woods, I highly encourage you, take these lessons, put them into effect at your property, whether it's public or private. It's really gonna help you become successful in the fall time. As always, if you have any questions about what I did here in this vlog, if you have any questions just for the Moxie team in general, leave a comment below or reach out to us on our Instagram at Hunt Moxie. Looking forward to your questions. Thanks for tuning in.